Howdy folks, Craigster Senior Hot Nuts Diecast. Well, just a little ahead of the Lightning Strikes Twice tournament coming up here starting next weekend. We'll start doing some qualifying. That one's being hosted by myself and David Adams over there at Elevation Diecast. Got a few trucks on their way still, have yet to get here, but we're going to give them till Friday afternoon there and make sure everybody shows up that said they were sending cars or trucks in this case. In the meantime, I'm going to run a couple of my own here. This one was the 29 Ford Crew Cab, and we didn't allow this particular casting in this race. We're looking for more of a standard pickup truck, and some would argue that this is, but that was the rules that we had come up with. We should allow these in another race. This is a great casting in my opinion. I have 3 of them, and let's see which one is faster out of these 2. Looks like one in the left lane, 1.82. Let's swap them. All right, we've swapped lanes. Let's see what they'll do. The time to beat, 1.482. And same vehicle one with an 8.4. Not quite as fast, but still a good time. All right, we've got another 29 Ford Crew Cab here. We're going to put him up against the Surf version that just won. That time to beat was a 1.482 was his fastest run. Ran an 8.4 on this last pass. Let's see if this one, it's a kind of that light purplish. It's a very cool looking, almost Spectre flame color, looking good. See if he's got anything for him. Surf one, another 8.2, close 8.3. Let's swap lanes. I apologize for the choppy video quality in that last pass. Let's see if we can improve here. 1.482. And 8.3, not gonna cut it. So the Surf Duty one, Surf Rod version was the quicker. Okay, but let's go to a couple of trucks that were allowed or are allowed in this upcoming race. The Cameo there, lane 1. Perfect timing on my clock there. Dale Earnhardt clock chiming in. Gentlemen, start your engines. And we've got the S10 there in lane 2. Cameo taking that one with a 4.97. Okay, we've swapped lanes. That Cameo laying down a 1.497 last round. Let's see if the S10's got anything. Nope. 4.95 on that pass. Not great, but not too shabby. Okay, up next I've got a couple more pickup trucks. Now these should be a little faster than what we've just seen. As far as the pickup trucks themselves, a 1.495, not a great time, but these 2 examples here I think will run just a little better. Let's see what they'll do. A little bit. Dodge with a 1.481, Studebaker 8.6. Swap lanes. All right, swap lanes here. That Ram running a 1.481 in lane 1. See if that Studebaker's got anything for him. Not happening. 6 to an 8.7. And just for the record, there were a bunch of these Studebakers entered into the stock race, by the way. You'll see that when we do the check-in, the qualifying video. Yeah, lots of Studebakers. Alright, we're going to go ahead and throw the Ram up against the little red Express or Express truck. This one actually in the yellow colorway there. Looking pretty good. And let's see what he's got for this Ram, if anything. Oh yeah. 8.0 to an 8.3. Alright, swap lanes here now. We got the Ram in lane 1. The Express truck in lane 2, previously running a 1.480. Now, kind of showing my cards here. This is one of these two is going to be what I'm running in the stock class for the race. Got a lot of cars, or a lot of trucks I should say, already entered, already here. Was hoping for a bigger turnout on the stock side, but we're happy with it. Anything's great. But, you know, David and I are just Johnny Lightning geeks, so, you know, we wanted everybody to send us stock, but I understand too they're kind of hard to come by in some areas, and they do fetch a pretty penny sometimes depending on what you're looking for. But glad to have everyone, and got a lot of mods, and it's going to be a killer time. But let me see what I can do here to run with you fellers in the stock ranks. Ooh, Ram picking up on him there. 8-0 to an 8-1. Well, I got to make a decision. I'll let you see what I picked on race day. How's that sound? All right, and just for a little bonus footage, managed to find these 2025 editions of one of them, the Formula Solaire, and then the Salt Shaker. And these are the first salt shakers I have ever been able to find or have on my track, so I'm looking forward to running these. These are bone stock out of the package, and if they do decent, I'll take them to the speed shop and see what they'll do. All right, so we've got one of them designated with a silver sticker there. And these are, like I said, bone stock out of the package. Kind of like to see how they run, how the wheels sound. And you know right away if a car's got decent wheels and got some potential if it's fairly quick right out of the package. And it's worth taking a second look. One 1.511 to a 1.518. I'd like to see below a 1.5 if it's worth looking at or fooling with. All right, we've swapped lanes. The Silver Dot version ran the quicker time of 1.511. He was in lane 1 when he did that. These things are featherweight castings, however. They do have the skinny wheels all the way around, so it's interesting. Okay. Oh, yeah, look at that. He's consistent. 1.511. So the wheels probably could use a little attention. I'll probably go ahead and take them to the speed shop and just see if I can get it into that 1.49 or less range. And I do like the wheel choice as far as the hub on these. It's kind of back to your basic, just 5-spoke wheel, all black, nothing crazy, but skinnies all around, fellas. All right, so we've got the salt shakers in the box now. The Silver Dot again going on the first car that's in lane 1, and we've got the identical car in lane 2. Let's see which one's quicker. Yeah, a little bit better on the time there, 1.504 to a 1.5. All right, lane swappage, Silver Dot version in lane 2 now, and ran that 1.504. See if he can get under a 1.45. Let's get into that 4.9 range. Oh, nope. Slowed a little bit, but once again I think I'll take that one to the speed shop and see if we can get any more speed out of them. Alrighty, taking these things to the speed shop. Hopefully they'll be faster, not slower. Neither one of them cracked the 1.5 barrier, so let's see if either one of them will do it this time. Oh, so close. 07 to a 1500 flat. There we go, finally. Still some work to do. Yeah, and a lot of these salt shakers are what shows up at the tournaments. As you well know, if you've been doing this a while, in this weight range, you'll see either Supermans or salt shakers typically are the two castings of choice with the skinny wheels. Here's the other example. I do happen to have one Superman that's in my ranks. Good car. So let's see if we can get a little more speed out of this one and run them up against Superman. And the salt shaker's right there at 30 grams. Yeah, and weighing in at a super light 28 grams. Alright, so since we went through all that rigmarole with the salt shaker, we'll see if he can get into the appropriate weight category. Now, I no longer have a featherweight class, like a 30 gram and under. This would just be lumped in with my 35 to 31 is where I put the low part. But yeah, this is the same category that my Superman is in. So let's see if he can get in. Oh yeah, easy. 9.7. Look at that. Now he's finally picking up some speed, knowing he's going to get in the ranks. All right, I'm pretty sure I saw gappage on that last run, so I'm going to go ahead and put him up against the next rung in the ladder, the High Roller 2. Takes that one. Slow him down a little bit. Still a 1503. Let's go ahead and swap lanes. All right, that salt shaker laid down that 1497 a little bit ago there. That was pretty impressive. This time running a 1503. See what the High Roller 2's got. Salt shaker taking that one. Let's try him against the next contestant. Alright, next up in the 35 and under category is the Erkenstein rod. Let's see if the salt shaker can get past him. Easily. Boy, slowing down now. Alright, next rung up the ladder, the El Viento versus the salt shaker. 35 and under. Salt shaker taking that. Alright, it felt like this one was worth a second run. That Erkenstein rod earlier there just wasn't cutting it. There's something wrong. I got to take a better, closer look at him. But let's just continue on. Alright, salt shaker taking that. Let's go up the ladder one more notch. Okay, next up in the ranks we've got a Jada purple Volkswagen Bug. And this is a narrower casting, but I do like the wheels. They have the skinnier wheels, large diameter. And this particular one holds the sidewall pretty good, so it runs straight, doesn't scrub off a whole lot of speed. Let's see if he's got anything for old salt shaker. Much closer race and slower. 11 to a 14. Let's swap lanes. Alright, we've swapped lanes here. Got the VW Jada in lane 2. Salt shaker ran a 1.511 time to beat. See if he can do it. Salt shaker with a 496, fastest time he's ran so far. Alright, next up in the blocks we've got May Pilar du Rev from the Cars Pixar castings. See if that casting's got anything for old salt shaker, or if salt shaker is moving up another rung. Certainly looks like it. I think I need to rerun my ranks too by these times I'm seeing. Yeah, rank calibration would probably be in order in this weight class. If it keeps the pattern continues, I'm going to skip a few. Alright. Yep, time to go up a couple rungs, looks like. Alright, this might be a little bit more competition. The old Road Rocket. Older casting, I want to say like the 96 era when that first came out, 97. Pretty good fantasy casting. A little more of a run for his money. 09 to a 12. Let's swap lanes. Alright, Road Rocket needs to beat a 1.509 to stop the salt shaker. Part 4. Yeah, let's move up a couple more rungs. Alright, let's see if old Salty's got anything for this here Ferrari 512M with the FTEs. He does. Consistent with them 04s. Alright, 1.504 is a time to beat. But Ferrari wants to keep his spot. And now he does an 05. So let's go one more notch higher. Alright, next one up the rung of the ladder. Dodge pick him up step side. See what he'll do. '07 to 13. Alright, an unimpressive 07 is the time to beat. Won't do it. Okay, so we'll put him up against the Kenner Fast Ones. It's another fantasy casting here. Let's see if he can do anything with it. Okay, here we go. Now we're finally looking like we might reach a stopping point here. Alright, that Kenner Fast Ones turbo turret running a 1.499. Now the Salt Shaker has ran a 1.496 before, so let's see if he's got anything for me. Not tonight. 9.8 to an 09. Salt Shaker's a little unpredictable, probably needs a little more work, and so do my ranks. Alright, so there we go, my 31 to 35, or I should just call it now 35 and under. There's my Superman sitting second. Kenner Fast Ones. And there's where the Salt Shaker ended up. First Salt Shaker in the ranks. Glad to have it. Gonna do a little bit more work on the calibration here. I saw Dale doing some work. It does take a lot of effort to keep these things maintained and up to par. Got a race coming up here real soon. Lightning Strikes Twice. Myself and David with Elevation Diecast co-hosting that. Looking forward to seeing y'all. This coming weekend we'll start doing qualifying. So for right now, thanks for hanging out, Old Craigster Senior. Checking out.